Welcome, everyone. We're diving into the latest breakthrough from Gaza, a ceasefire deal that's got a lot of layers, from hostage releases to troop withdrawals, a real turning point in the conflict.
I'm with you. So many critical elements here. What are the main ingredients of this deal?
Well, the deal calls for a ceasefire once the Israeli government approves it in a late cabinet vote. It includes the return of all Israeli hostages and the release of up to almost 2,000 Palestinian prisoners.
Right.
Also, there's a scheduled withdrawal of Israeli forces from parts of Gaza and the entry of vital aid.
Yep, that's huge. It sounds like a significant step forward in easing the immediate human suffering on both sides.
Absolutely. And not to forget, US President Trump has been very vocal about his role in pushing this deal forward. He's been tossing around huge thank you messages for his team and advisors, which really shows the international pressures at play. The way he frames it as something almost miraculous is notable.
I know. And while the celebrations are pouring in, both in Israel and Gaza, there's a lot of cautious optimism threading through every conversation. People are rejoicing in Tel Aviv and also on the streets of Gaza, where families and displaced residents share moments of relief.
Right, exactly. We're seeing scenes of dancing and fireworks, but underneath all that, crucial details remain unsettled. For instance, the exact list of Palestinian prisoners to be freed is still a point of debate, and there's the larger question of how and when the Israeli forces actually pull back from Gaza. It's like celebrating a breakthrough, yet knowing full well that the underlying issues remain unresolved.
Yeah, and that's a point I want to challenge a bit. Even with such palpable relief, do you really think this ceasefire can pave the way for long-term peace? Or is it just a temporary pause?
Good critique. While it's definitely a significant human moment, a beacon of hope, many still highlight that it's a ceasefire, not a definitive peace deal. There's still the thorny issue of Hamas arms and the matter of who governs Gaza afterwards.
Right.
So it's more like a first tentative step rather than a complete solution.
That makes sense. And then there's also the timeline. Trump mentioned that all the Israeli hostages would be back as early as Monday, hopefully setting off a 72-hour countdown for the return. Quite a dramatic turnaround for some families.
Exactly. And let's not forget, the internal Israeli political debate adds another layer. While Prime Minister Netanyahu hails the deal as a national victory, his far-right allies, like Finance Minister Smotrich, are openly opposing any concessions to Hamas. It's a very charged domestic atmosphere.
Right. And that divergence shows just how multifaceted this whole situation is. On one side, there's relief and celebration, and on the other, deep-seated political and strategic challenges.
And there's more. International reactions are also complex. Egypt, for example, played a key mediating role, with President al-Sisi lauding Sharm el-Sheikh as a cradle of dialogue and peace. Meanwhile, France is gearing up for a meeting with Arab and European nations to discuss post-ceasefire plans, although, of course, Israel's Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar criticized that meeting as being organized without Israel's input.
That's an interesting contradiction. On one hand, the international community seems mobilized to support recovery efforts in Gaza, and on the other, there's distrust and heated rhetoric from certain Israeli quarters.
Precisely. And then there's the deep human impact. Families in both Gaza and Israel are feeling the weight of this deal. For instance, one displaced Gaza resident mentioned just wanting to return home after years of hardship, while in Tel Aviv, hostages' families have expressed both joy and an undercurrent of grief.
Yeah.
The emotional tapestry here is as complex as the political one.
I heard from reports that even despite the signs of relief, UNICEF and humanitarian agencies are still warning about the severe conditions on the ground. Emaciated children, dwindling supplies, and so on.
Right, the UN and related agencies are ramping up efforts on the ground, ensuring trends like aid deliveries and medical supplies are prioritized. This ceasefire, while monumental, is just the spark for what still needs to be a comprehensive rebuilding and reconciliation process. Every minute is indeed crucial in such a scenario.
And then there's the broader strategic chessboard. With up to 1,350 Palestinian detainees potentially being freed, we're looking at a significant prisoner swap, yet details like disarmament of Hamas remain unresolved. Do you think the long-term political structure for Gaza will ever be charted out?
It's murky for sure. The original 20-point peace plan suggested a temporary governance by a technocratic committee before handing over power to the Palestinian Authority. But Israel's government has so far opposed any power sharing with Hamas. It's a balancing act between short-term human relief and long-term political restructuring. It's a high-wire act
Right.
with no guaranteed safety net.
Which brings us to another critical observation. While the deal is a major moment, it by no means resolves the conflict's deep-rooted issues. Practical steps like disarming Hamas and establishing a clearly defined Palestinian state remain contentious.
Absolutely. While many are rightfully celebrating the ceasefire, the real test lies in the implementation. There are risks of deliberate delays, or even the potential for psychological tactics, like withholding certain details during the prisoner
Yes.
exchange. That kind of strategic ambiguity can easily reignite tensions.
And considering the internal pressures on both the Israeli government and within Gaza, even this delicate, hopeful plan could be tested by political rivalries and, well, lingering mistrust.
Exactly. It's a crossroads filled with potential, both for genuine relief and for new complications if any part of the deal falters. This is why the next few days are going to be so crucial. Every detail and every decision moving forward could either diffuse or further inflame the situation. It's really like walking on a tightrope.
There's also the human element. Both the pain of lost loved ones and the cautious optimism for what might come next. As much as people are cheering, there's an underlying fear of unanswered questions and the trauma of the past 2 years.
Right there. Thousands are waiting. Some to see their families reunited, others hoping for a window into rebuilding shattered lives. And this deal, despite hinging on several incomplete details,
Yep.
is a move in that hopeful direction. Every ounce of relief and joy now carries a hint of uncertainty.
So, while this ceasefire is heralded as a historic and symbolic moment, it's clear there's still a long, intricate journey ahead before true peace or a sustainable resolution can be claimed.
Precisely. The story here is both a human triumph and a reminder of how much remains unresolved. It's like balancing on the edge of what could be a new beginning while being fully aware of the deep-seated challenges that still lie ahead. It's a lot to live with for everyone involved.
And it all underscores that every political decision, every negotiation has a real impact on human lives. Let's hope this deal is the first step toward genuinely lasting peace, rather than just a pause in the conflict.
That's the hope. We'll be watching closely as the Israeli government meets. The details about prisoner exchanges get hashed out, and international mediators push for further clarity on the future of Gaza. This moment is as fragile as it is promising.
It really is a pivotal chapter in a long and tumultuous history, with the potential to shift not just immediate realities, but the whole regional dynamic.
Absolutely. And while the path ahead is still full of uncertainties, moments like these, when communities come together, when people dare to dream of peace, remind us that hope can break through even the darkest nights. That's something we can all hold on to.
Thanks for this deep dive. It's a complex story with many layers, but crucial to understand where we stand today.
Totally. To everyone listening, keep an eye on what unfolds over the next few days. Every update matters in this evolving landscape.
Absolutely. and thanks for tuning in as we navigate these challenging yet hopeful times. Stay safe, and here's to hoping this is the beginning of a better chapter.